Class 9th, chapter number 3, and the topic is periodic table. So here we will discuss about modern periodic table. The learning objectives in this lecture are: what is periodicity, why we need periodic table, why periodic table has such a unique shape, and what are periods and groups. So have a look on it. No doubt, Mendeleev's done a wonderful job for arranging elements in periodic table. But all his work was based upon atomic masses. While the modern periodic table is based upon atomic number. Now, have you ever think that why modern periodic table is based upon atomic number? Because atomic number is the number of protons in an atom, and it is more fundamental property than atomic mass. As it increases from elements to elements regularly, and it is fixed for every element. While if I talk about atomic mass, you know it very well that atomic mass is based upon number of protons and number of neutrons. And the number of neutrons are changed in case of isotopes. So if number of neutrons are changing in isotopes, definitely elements having isotopes have different atomic masses. So how can we take them as a standard? Because of that, atomic number was taken as a standard to arrange elements in a periodic table, and that was done by Moseley. According to him, properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic numbers. So now, what is periodicity? Have you ever seen periodicity in your daily life? Yes. You have seen periodicity in days of week. If today is Friday, then after 7 days, what comes? Exactly. After 7 days, it again comes Friday. So there is a repetition in your daily life is also present. And in periodic table, repetition of chemical properties after certain interval is called periodicity. You all are familiar with this table. Yes, this is periodic table, and it consists of 7 periods and 18 groups. So let me number them. The horizontal rows in periodic table are periods. So this is period number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Period number 1 consists of only 2 elements, hydrogen and helium. So that's why it is known as short period. While period number 2 and 3 consists of 8 elements, and they are known as normal periods. While 4 and 5 consists of 18 and 18 elements. So these periods are known as long periods. While period number 6 and 7 are very long periods because they consist of 32 elements. Now you are not thinking that why 32 elements are not arranged in a single line in period number 6 and 7. Yes, this is the basic reason of the unique feature and unique shape of periodic table. If all the 32 elements are arranged in a single line, it doesn't look good. So that's why from atomic number 57 to 71 in period number 6 are placed below the periodic table. And these are lanthanides. These are known as lanthanides, after the name of an element lanthanum, whose atomic number is 57. They are rare earth elements. Similarly, in period number 7, the elements from 89 to 103 are grouped down the periodic table, and they are named after actinium, whose atomic number is 89. And they are radioactive elements. All the elements which are placed in same period have same number of shells around their nucleus. Like hydrogen and helium are placed in period number 1. They have only one shell around their nucleus. While if I talk about period number 2, no matter whatever the element, if it belongs to period number 2, it has two shells around the nucleus. And similarly, so on. Now, if I talk about groups, there are 18 groups in the periodic table. Or I can say the vertical rows are groups. Sorry, the vertical columns are groups. So here is the group number 1, known as alkali metals. They form strong alkalis with water. So that's why they are known as alkali metals. It consists of hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. While the next group is group number 2, and it is known as alkaline earth metals. They form weak alkalis with water. After the group number 1 and 2, I will jump to group number 13, because in your syllabus, group number 1 and 2 and then from group number 13 to group number 18 is included. I will discuss the other groups as well, but at the end of the lecture. Now group number 13 is boron family, and it has 3 electrons in its valence shell. And then group number 14, and it is known as carbon family. So this is the vertical column of carbon family. After that is group number 15, and it is known as nitrogen family. And then is group number 16. This is the family of oxygen, and we also commonly name them as chalcogens. After that is group number 17, a very famous group, halogens. They are salt forming elements. Fluorine, chlorine are present in the form of gas, while bromine is present in the form of liquid and iodine is present in solid form. There are 2 elements in the periodic table which are present in the liquid form. A very important MCQ which used to come in your exams. And can you name them? They are bromine and mercury. After that is group number 18. This is the noble family of periodic table, the richest family, having 8 electrons in their valence shell, or we can call them rude family. They never form bonds with other elements. It is an inactive group, inert group, because they already have a stability of having 8 electrons in their valence shell. So they are following the octet rule. So now Let's discuss them. Let's discuss them separately. Now, in periods are the horizontal rows. So the table consists of 7 horizontal rows called periods. First period consists of only 2 elements, so known as short periods, while the second period is normal period. Fourth and fifth period consists of 18 elements, while sixth and seventh consist of 32 elements. Atomic number is increasing regularly in periods. There is no interval between them. Periodic number indicates the number of shells in an atom. Like if I talk about period number 1, it means that the elements present in period number 1 contains 1 shell. And if I talk about period number 2, it means that all the elements present in period number 2 consists of 2 shells. Now here is an interesting question. Why the elements of the same period show different properties? Elements of the period show different properties having different number of electrons in their valence shell. Let's discuss them how. Here if I talk about period number 2, so that will be this one. Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon, as this is a horizontal row. Now all these elements have atomic number with regular increase. Like lithium have 3, so the beryllium have 4 and boron have 5. After that carbon has 6 and nitrogen has 7. So it's a regular increase. The number of electrons present in the valence shell are changing. The increase in atomic number means that the number of protons are increasing. So if number of protons are increasing, definitely the number of electrons are also increasing. Now here, in case of lithium, it has only 1 electron in its outermost shell. While in case of beryllium, it has 2 electrons in its outermost shell. In case of boron, it has 3 electrons in its outermost shell. While in case of carbon, it has 4 electrons in its outermost shell. Now as all these elements are belong to the same period, but all have different number of electrons in their outermost shells. So that's why they will show different properties. I have told you before that period number is related with number of shells. So let's confirm it. Hydrogen belongs to period number 1. Its atomic number is 1. So it has 1 shell. Here 1 electron of hydrogen will move into 1s. So it confirms that it lies in shell number 1. Oxygen belongs to period number 2 and its atomic number is 8. If I put its 8 electrons in this arrangement, we know that S cannot accommodate more than 2 electrons. So 2 in 1s, 2 in 2s and the remaining 4 will be in 2p. So in this way, oxygen belongs to shell number 2. Aluminium belongs to period number 3. Its atomic number is 13. Now if I put its 13 electrons in this arrangement, it will be like 2 in 1s, 2 in 2s, 6 in 2p As we know that p subshell cannot accommodate more than 6 electrons. So the remaining electrons will move towards the next subshell. Now they are 6 plus 2, 8 plus 2, 10. S will accommodate 2. Now it's gonna be 12. And the remaining one will be in 3p. So in this way, aluminium has 3 shells. And it belongs to period number 3. Now calcium has an atomic number 20. And it lies in period number 4. So if I put these 20 electrons in this arrangement, 2 will be in 1s, 2 in 2s, p will get 6, 3s will 2, and again p can accommodate 6 electrons. So they will be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17, 18. The remaining 2 will be in 4s. So in this way it lies in 4th period as it contains 4 shells. Now move towards groups. The vertical columns in the periodic table is called groups. There are 18 groups in periodic table. The elements of the groups show similar chemical properties. Now this is a very interesting fact and we will discuss it in the next slide. Atomic number will increase with intervals. Elements of same group have same electronic configuration. Let's discuss about the groups. Group number 1 are alkali metals and they form strong alkalis with water. They have only one electron in their valence shell. Do you know what is valence shell? The outermost shell is known as valence shell and it takes part in bonding. As it has only one electron in its outermost shell, so that's why these all elements put in group number 1. Then group number 2. Group number 2 are alkaline earth metals and they form weak alkalis with water. Group number 13, or we can say in Roman counting 3a, is a boron family because it starts from the boron element. Group number 14 or 4a is a carbon family and it starts from carbon, and carbon has a very efficient property of catenation. It can form long and long chains. Group number 15 is nitrogen family. It starts from nitrogen. And group number 16 or 6a are oxygen family. They are ore forming group and also known as chalcogens. While group number 17 are salt forming family and they are halogens. Chlorine, fluorine, bromine and iodine. Group number 18 are noble gases. They have 8 electrons in their outermost shell. Do you know what is octet rule? Any element which has 8 electrons in its outermost shell, it satisfies octet rule. They are stable elements. They don't need to gain or lose electrons to make themselves stable. So they are also known as inert gases, inactive gases, noble gases, or the richest gases of the family because they don't need to form bond with other elements. Group number 3 to 12 are transition elements. These groups are not included in your syllabus. But for your information, These are the groups with d subshells in completion. Their d subshells are not complete, so they are under completion. These are transition elements. The rare earth elements and the radioactive elements, which are lanthanides and actinides, are the part of these groups. Interesting question in case of groups is, why elements in the same group have same valency and similar chemical properties? So the answer is, the elements belongs to the same group have same number of electrons in their valence shell. And the valence shell is the outermost shell, which take parts in bonding. So that's why they behave similarly, and the chemical properties lies on the number of electrons in their valence shells. Now look at this slide carefully. Group number 1 consists of lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. For your convenience, I have discussed only 20 elements because only 20 elements are included in your syllabus. So now, lithium, sodium, potassium, all these elements belongs to group number 1, although there is a big difference in their atomic numbers. Lithium has atomic number 3, sodium has atomic number 11, so it's an interval, and then potassium has atomic number 13. While if I talk about periods, the atomic number is increasing regularly, like lithium is 3, beryllium is 4 and boron is 5. In case of groups, atomic number is increasing with interval. So why all these elements are put together in a single group? All these elements are put together in a single group because they contain only one electron in their outermost shell, no matter how many electrons are present in the inner shells. The chemical properties of any element relies on the electrons which are present in the valence shell, in the outermost shell. So here you can see that in outermost shell of all the elements of group number 1 has only one electron. So that's why they all have similar chemical properties and they all join together in group number 1. Similarly, in group number 2, the atomic number is increasing with interval. Like here, beryllium is 4, magnesium is 12 and calcium is 20. So there is a difference between the atomic numbers. But in the valence shell, all the elements of group number 2 contain 2 electrons. So that's why they have similar chemical properties. They can donate only 2 electrons while the inner complete shells are safe and they will not take part in bonding. Group number 3A or group number 13 is the boron family and they contain 3 electrons in their outermost shell. So that's why they are numbered as group number 3A, so that you can remember it easily, and they will behave in a similar way. Group number 4A or group number 14 is a carbon family, and no matter whatever the atomic numbers of the elements, no doubt that with the increase in atomic number, the size of an atom is increasing to accommodate more and more electrons. But at the end, in the valence shell, only 4 electrons will be present. So that's why it will gonna move in group number 4. So in this way, they will behave similarly because they have same number of electrons present in their valence shell. Group number 5 will contain 5 electrons in its outermost shell. Group number 6 will contain 6 electrons in its outermost shell. Group number 7 will contain 7 electrons in its outermost shell. And group 0 or group 18 have 8 electrons in its outermost shell. In case of helium, it has 2 electrons in its outermost shell and it follows duplet rule. Wow, it's a blank periodic table. So what we have to discuss here? In my previous periodic table, I've told you about groups, periods, all the vertical and horizontal rows. Now here we have to go with the electronic arrangement of elements. So all those elements which are present in group number 1 and group number 2 will occupy S subshell. So that's why they are known as S block elements. Helium has an atomic number 2. So as its atomic number is not that much big, it will also occupy S subshell. Just for convenience, we don't put helium with these two groups because it follows duplet rule and it's a stable element. After that is P block. All the elements of group number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18 lies in P subshells. So that's why they are known as P block elements. While these are transition elements from group number 3 to group number 12. And their D subshell is under completion when we do their electronic configuration. So that's why they are known as D block elements. This is F block elements, inner transition elements, also known as lanthanides and actinides. Their F subshell is under completion. And I have told you before that lanthanides are rare earth elements while actinides are radioactive elements. So in this way, we can also classify our periodic table with SPDF blocks. Now, there are so many elements present in periodic table, but you never found a compound or mixture in periodic table. How we can classify these elements into metals, non-metals and metallites? All those elements which are present in red color are metals. Metals are shiny and they can lose their electrons easily, or I can say that they can undergo oxidation. They are electropositive elements because they can lose their electrons easily. While if I talk about non-metals, all those elements which are present in blue color are non-metals. They undergo reduction. They are electronegative elements. And the yellow boxes are metallites. They have properties of both metals and non-metals. A very interesting question is that Name two elements of periodic table which are present in liquid state. So those two elements are bromine and mercury. So these are some basic aspects of periodic table. I hope that you get my points. Thank you so much.